Okay. Well, Matty, I'm just interested on your take. Last couple of games, you played probably been the better team in both matches, and you don't get any points out of it. How does that sort of leave you feeling?
It's frustrating, obviously, because you do dominate in certain aspects of the game and come away with 0 points, and ultimately that's what the game's all about, is picking up the points and putting as many as you can on the board. So slightly frustrating, but also I think it shows the steps that have been made in terms of from where we were kind of last year, to be able to be competing with teams like that on a more regular basis is very positive for us, and that's obviously the thing that we've been focused on the most is being in every single game and just trying to eradicate the little silly mistakes and being a little bit more ruthless in front of goal. That's probably what we need to do, really.
Because quite often, some matches are one side, but so many of them come down to little moments, isn't it? And it's just making sure that you get a few more than you have this season, and who knows where that can take.
That's it. I think we've said it. It's fine margins in this league, and that's the Championship, and it's been like that for years. And the small margins matter. And like I said before, if we can just take away the little mistakes and be that little bit more ruthless, I think we'd probably be, quite a lot better off in terms of the point situation and probably be a little bit further up the league. But at the moment, we're not, and that's where the improvement obviously needs to happen moving forward. But I think the squad's in a good place, and we're excited for Saturday.
Yeah, and it does seem like it's a club that feels, even if results aren't always there, there's good progress being made behind the scenes and indeed on the pitch.
Yeah, for sure, and I think certainly we felt that as players from the fans as well, and we get frustrated because sometimes we come off the pitch and we think, we lost that, and it's sometimes hard then to get yourself ready for the next game. But I think we've done that quite well, and I think that, like you said, behind the scenes there's obviously a lot going on, and the strides that have been made have been really good. But I think the most important thing is to keep going with that, and obviously not just kind of stay here. We want to try and improve, and hopefully, with these last 3 games we can do that, and with a good pre-season, you just never know next year.
And I thought particularly the first half up at Bramall Lane, yourself and your midfield partner and King, you just seem to be in the right place all the time, all that first 45 minutes. Is it difficult for you having to adjust, because Joe Williams is a very different central midfielder from Alex Scott, from Andy King?
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the places where we've got a lot of competition in the centre midfield, and when people have come in, with they've stepped up and they've done the job that's been asked of them. It was 2 different games in terms of Watford and the game at Bramall Lane, because at Watford we did dominate the ball and we had a lot more kind of sustained possession. At Bramall Lane it was a little bit more second balls, and being in, like you said there, being in the right place and just having that little bit of know-how to get our strikers back into the game as quick as possible. And I think if we maybe we would have took a chance in the first half, it would have been a different game.
And another South Yorkshire team this time around, but one that will give you a very different style of football, I think, in Rotherham.
Yeah, I think so. I think you've seen in the last few results that kind of scrapping for their lives at the minute down there in the relegation zone. So we know the kind of game we're expecting, and we have to be ready for it. This is what we spoke about: is being ready for every single game in the Championship, not just thinking that every game's the same, because it's not. It's going to be a physical game tomorrow, and it's going to be a tough one. And we said that this morning. We've got to be bang at it tomorrow and make sure that we're together and we support each other and try and come away with the 3 points.
And with so few games left now this season, obviously there's nothing to worry about or play for in terms of up or down. But you still want to end the season well, still have that positivity that the progress is there going into the new campaign. That's
it. That's what we want. That's what the gaffer spoke about, the staff spoke about, and we do want to finish the season as strong as we can. This is our next game. It's at home, and we want to try and put a performance in that, like you said, shows the progress and shows the capabilities that we can mix it with each and every team, really. And the 3 points is what we're after tomorrow, and hopefully we'll get them.
Super.
Thank you. No worries.
Now just challenged the midfielders to score more goals.
Yeah.
City this season haven't been a team that take shots outside the box. Hasn't been many goals.
Yeah.
What would be the remedy to that? How do the midfielders score more goals?
I think sometimes the way that we have played has been kind of counter-attacking football, and the sheer speed that we've got on the attack, that sometimes the attack can be over by the time that you try and join in. Or like you say, I think sometimes when we've had more possession of the ball, we haven't been as probably as pristine as we would like to be when a team plays in a low block, and I think that's where we have to try and improve. I think more people will take note of the way that we do play and how quick we can attack, and when teams have dropped off, it does sometimes cause us a little bit of a problem, and that's where we obviously need to improve, and that's for the midfield boys for sure. We need to kind of make sure that we are a little bit, maybe take a few more risks and get into the box, and then we need the quality to be there, and we hopefully chip in with a few, because it's a good point from the gaffer, and obviously that's what we need to try and improve on.
And obviously your teammate Alex Scott's up on the award, the Young Player of the Year award. Maybe a little bit biased, but would you think that he would be deserving of his nomination? Would you think he should go on to win the award? Perhaps?
Yeah, for sure. I think Scotty's had a great season again. The improvements that he's made at such a young age has been magnificent, and I think the category that he's in is a tough category, and there's been a lot of excellent players, especially in his age category. So I think for Scotty, he's more than deserved of that award, and hopefully he does win it. And like I said, he finishes the season now as strong as he can.
And this summer just feels really big in terms of recruitment and just obviously progression at the club. What's it like to be perhaps one of those trusted lieutenants? Because obviously Nigel's been with you at a few clubs as well, and you're one of those players that is perhaps those consistent players in there that can offer advice, but also you're at the moment one of the most consistent figures in the team.
Yeah, I think I'm enjoying my football, and I've enjoyed this season, and to see some of the improvements that have been made have been excellent, really. But the point I made before is we don't really want to stop here. It's a driven group. It's a young group that wants to succeed and wants to be better and be higher up in the table, and wants to be competing all the way to the end of the season, and not having games where it kind of on paper means nothing to us. But we want it to be where hopefully maybe next season that you are in contention of taking the whole 46 game season into the playoffs, or you just never know in this league, or even better. But that's the kind of the strides that we want to make as players, and I'm sure the staff do as well, the recruitment, owners and fans. So I think that's the next steps for this football club, and hopefully, like I said, finish the season strong, rest, recuperate, and then see what happens in the summer.
And obviously where your future at, but there's a few players out of contract. What's it like perhaps being in that position, and what's it like to be in that position, and how do you approach it? Obviously sometimes there's a few games left in the season, and that's perhaps your last edition to perhaps sway the manager's decision. Yeah,
I think you just basically treat it as your next game. For you personally, you don't try and think about it too much. You just go out there, try and put a performance in. And whatever the future may hold, then whether it be at the club that you're at or whether it be somewhere else, you just kind of stay focused on the matter that's at hand, the 90 minutes that you've got to play, the training sessions that you've got kind of before you either leave or you do sign a new contract or talks, kind of commence. So I think it's just remaining focused on the task at hand, which is the next game, and the two remaining after this one.
And obviously it could be a big weekend for the club. Obviously the women's team are on the cusp of getting to WSL. What's it like having them around? Because it does feel like a one club mantra here.
Yeah, for sure. And I think they've had a fantastic season, and we've all kind of kept our eye on it. And for us, we're kind of hoping that on Sunday they get the win and they kind of get the promotion to the next league up. And it'd be fantastic for the club and fantastic for the women. So yeah, like I said, we're all rooting for them, and fingers crossed. No worries.